Hi everybody, thank you for tuning in to English Cut. I've had an awful lot of people asking me questions recently about straight coats and crooked coats. I have wrote about it in the past, but it's quite a difficult theory to grasp, and I thought I'd try to clarify things a little bit today. Basically, we have on every jacket what we call the neck point, which is ultimately the part that's nearest to your shirt collar here, and it's here on this example, okay? It's this seam. Now, when you're wearing the garment, it creates a form of an invisible vertical line that actually controls the coat quite a lot. And it's basically from the neck point that runs right down through the front of the garment. Now, when we have a straight coat, the neck point is moved closer to the front edge. And whenever it moves closer to the front edge, it reduces this invisible line here. The alternative is, of course, a crooked coat, where the neck point goes further back and increases this line here. Now, this is a fitting that I'm recutting, and I've got my initial mark of where it wrapped on my client, so there are things that I want to do. But basically, at a fitting stage, if I've made a coat for somebody which is too straight, we've got two options. We either physically let out the front edge if we have an inlay, and if we do that, well, obviously you can see we have a measurement there, 6 3/4, let out the front edge, we've increased this invisible line. So what we've done is we've made the coat more crooked, we've increased that. If it was a completed garment and it was all made up here and we couldn't physically do that, we can do it by using a different route. We can move the neck point back. And if you see, what that does is it does exactly the same thing but from a different perspective. We've now increased that measurement by moving that further away rather than physically letting this out. Of course, you can only do this if you have the width in the shoulders here and across the chest, which invariably we do because we have quite a lot of width in there. The other alternative for straightening a coat is, yes, you can move the neck point forward, you're going to reduce the area, but if it's a fitting, rather than doing that and upsetting things, you would let the front edge out. So basically, when people talk about crookening and straightening, a crooked coat, the neck point is further away from the front edge, and you effectively have a greater piece of material here. When you have a straighter coat, the neck point is closer to the front edge and you have a reduced area here. It's irrelevant how you get it, whether it's crookening, moving it back physically, letting out, or cutting off the front edges. That is basically what the difference is. So it's having a garment that's got a lot of material in front or a garment that doesn't have much material in front. Now, I'm going to show you a little something that we do when we fit. Here's just a garment that we put on a dummy. We're going to pretend this is a client. When I fit a coat on somebody, the first thing that I do is I put it on them, I get it into balance, I get the whole thing relaxed, and then I physically just let those front edges fall to wherever they want to go. I'll put this pin in there if I can. Now, the reason that I'll do that, instead of trying to pull them or push them out of the way, it's very important that I truly know how much material I've got in front of this line. And when you fit somebody, it might wrap over a lot like this, or it might wrap over a little bit shy, and therefore I'll know I'll have to crooken it or straighten it or whatever. After we've fixed this, it's only then that we can say, right, we're going to shape the side seams, because it's very important that we make sure that the materials on the material on the dimensions all the way around is in the right place. And this is what we talk about when we say crookening and straightening. Now, to put it in an even more obvious context, I'm going to put this coat on me, which is not made for me, so don't start talking about it. if I put this garment on, as I stand, it's quite open, okay? And to fasten it on me, there's that slight pull. So this coat is what we call quite straight. If I was to put this garment on me and it was more like that, that's what we call a crooked coat. Alright, we can do what we want with the side seams, but it's how much material is in front of this thing. So in simple terms, as I explained here, a straighter coat is one that shows a lot of front. It's cleaner, it's open, it shows a lot of neck. That's generally what we call a straighter coat, and it is actually what I prefer. It's generally what I try to cut. And the alternative is a crooked coat, where the neck point is moved back and the garment will want to come further over the body. Alright? So I hope that's helped clear up a couple of points. Certainly I've had some very confusing emails. On another note, we are thankfully extremely busy. We had a super trip in America, and there's a lot of people that very kindly got in touch with us regarding a couple of things. One is the new made-to-measure service, which will be starting in July, and we're thoroughly happy with that and ready to go. And secondly, to very kindly order a bespoke from us, but at the moment we've had to turn them down because we really are absolutely snowed under. So it's not me being peculiar, it's because there are only so many hours in the day and I only have so many tailors, so please don't be offended. Perhaps once we've got the summer out of the way and a bit of catching up with them, we'd be delighted to meet some new people. But in the meantime, enjoy wearing your clothes, and I'll talk to you again soon.